Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a university video. I was meant to do it like as soon as university finished, but things happened. I'm here now. Here is the start of my university videos and we're going to go into it now. So I'm just going to explain what it was like for me first, and then I'm going to answer some of your questions, well, a lot of your questions. So I went to my first choice university and I studied psychology and philosophy, so I do a joint honours degree. I was in halls for first year and I lived with 8 guys and 4 other girls, so there was 13 in total, which sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but my halls was the only one on the website that didn't have a number, so I emailed them and they said either 8 to 10, then it moved to 8 to 12 and I got there and it was 13. But the thing is, because people move in on different days, you actually don't know who's in your flat for like a few days, maybe even a week. I didn't really know who was in my flat. Anyways, yeah, 8 guys, 4 other girls, and it was so chill. Like for the longest time I didn't even realise that we had more guys than girls, and I know that a lot of people have been asking about living with guys. At first I just ticked the mixed box. Most universities you can tick whether you want mixed gender or single gender. I ticked mixed just because I thought that's just what I wanted to do. I wasn't really bothered. And then coming up to the dates, I was like, oh snap, I'm actually going to be living with guys. I'm not really used to this. Like I live with my brothers, but it's different, you know your brothers. But it was honestly fine. Like they're so chill, so fun. They were extremely noisy and they were messy in the kitchen, but they were fun and brought life to the flat. I'm not saying that girls can't do that, but we had 13. Imagine having 13 girls, like come on, that would be so much. So we had 3 floors in the flat, but my flat is 1 floor, if that makes sense. So you all go through the same door and then you go up the stairs. We had the corridor and then we had all of our rooms up into the kitchen, and there was 13 of us in one kitchen, but our kitchen was really big. We had 3 fridges, 2 ovens, 2 sets of like 4 hobs. I think we had 2 kettles or 1 kettle and then 2 toasters. So we had like a lot of space, and then we had a table. But what was really cool was that we actually had another half of our flat. So there was another 12 people in a different kitchen, but we shared a hallway through like double doors. And we got on with the other flat really well, so that was cool. I personally think it's good to have a lot of people in your flat, because the more people you have, the more chance that you're going to get on with people and the more people you'll vibe with, and I just thought it was really cool. I lived with 3 other black people. 1 was in my kitchen and 2 were in the other kitchen. But I only realised fairly near the end of first year that they actually do group you according to your like similarity. So my next door neighbour, who I actually got on with really well, he is on my psychology course and I spend a lot of time in the psychology department, so that was really helpful. And then there were like 2 people on history, like people on politics together, people on zoology, so they do actually group you according to your course as well sometimes. Don't hold me to it, but I noticed that. And what was really cool is that one of my closest friends, who's from cheerleading, and I'll talk about how to make friends later, she's from Cyprus, and one of her closest friends now is also from Cyprus. And I was like, oh, what a coincidence. Oh wait, no, they probably did that on purpose, put you together. And they live like an hour away from each other in Cyprus, but they got to visit each other over the summer, which I thought was really cute. So they do group you, well in my university they grouped you according to similarities, which I thought was quite helpful. There's a whole range of ages. So I joined university when I was 18. A lot of people were 19 because they'd taken gap years, or they resat A-levels or went to college, and no one was really 20. People were turning 20. And then I had a flatmate who was 20, oh, how old was Dom? Anyway, he was 22 or 23, but that's because he had done a course before that he didn't like, so he changed university and changed course. So there are so many different ranges of ages at university. Your whole concept of age changes, but you get over it. Age is nothing at university, don't worry about that. So I lived in an ensuite halls, which means I had my own bathroom. That was really handy just in case you're ill, or for me, I spend a lot of time in the bathroom. If you want to get ready in the bathroom, if you want to have a long shower, it's all yours. I really recommend it to those who are applying for university if you can afford it. But if you can't afford it, I totally understand why you would share, because it is quite significantly cheaper. And also I think is your room bigger? No, I don't think it is. But it makes a difference, so it's totally up to you. But I really liked having my own bathroom. That was one of my top priorities for university. So chill sharing with guys. Well, it was for me. Everyone's very respectful of your own space. Like you have your own room. Like it's really not that deep in my personal opinion. People don't come into your room unless you want them to come into your room. Like it's not really like, they can knock and you know socialize, but it's honestly fine. And also what was really good about our kitchen was because there's so many of us, like there's always someone there to chill with. You literally, if you're bored or lonely, you can just go to the kitchen. Even though there were 13 of us, I swear I never cooked with more than 3 other people maximum, just because you eat at different times. Sometimes like I would have movie nights and takeaway with my friend at her place, or I don't know, people go out for dinner, or people are at the bar so they're getting food there. Like it's so flexible that you actually don't, well, I didn't feel claustrophobic. So I have a question that says, peer pressure, is there a lot of it? And I would personally say that it's not really peer pressure. Like people don't force you to do things, they don't pressure you into doing things, well in my experience, if you don't allow them to. I don't think there's bad intentions. People are like, oh, like come out with us, oh, have another drink. People do it in a nicer way. It doesn't come across as forceful, but I think it is easy to conform in order to fit in and like make friends. I think people think that drinking and going out, that's the way of making friends. Like it's the way of meeting people. But if you actually ask people, the people that you met on a night out, if the friendship actually lasted, they'll probably say no. Like you have to keep up the friendship and you have to like do things in the day and stuff. So I would say that no one's going to force you to do anything. I know that someone asked me a question about with guys, like do people force you into doing things that you don't want to do with guys? I don't think that happens, but I do think if you don't stand up for yourself and don't say what your true convictions are, because as most of you guys know, I'm a Christian, so I have quite a few beliefs that I stick to and that are quite different to the majority of people, especially in the university culture. So I, for example, like I don't get drunk, so I will drink and I'll have some drinks, but I'm not going to have some to the point where I'm drunk. So that means that I have to be careful about what I drink and how much I drink. So it's quite funny because there was a time when my flatmate, he asked me, like this is way into the year, and he was like, do you even drink? Like do you enjoy alcohol? And I was like, yes. It's just, I think because I didn't go out as much, because I wasn't part of that culture, I don't drink just for the sake of it. So I'm not going to sit in the kitchen and just have a drink. It has to be like going somewhere nice, or someone's birthday, or going to a cocktail bar, I don't know, celebrating something. Like I'm not really like that kind of daytime drinker. So I think he was like, he probably hadn't seen me drink that often. And I was like, no, yeah, I do. Like I explained it, and it's actually quite cool because when you are different to the rest of the people around you, and when you do stick to what you believe and do stick to what you want to do, people do notice that and they do ask questions. And I think that was very good for me to be able to share my faith and be able to share yeah, when people, like it's a great conversation starter for people to pick up on what you do. Like even for an example, this is linked in a similar way, but like I don't swear, and I was at my friend's house and she must have said a swear word, or someone did, and then I don't know how it came up, but she was like, you don't swear, do you? And I was like, no. Like it's quite funny because I'm used to it now, so that's just not something I do anymore. And so it's quite funny when people pick up on stuff like that because I'm used to it. But the fact that people pick up on it, I don't know, it just shows that you're different. And most of my flatmates drunk a lot. Like I'm not gonna judge them or make them feel any type of way about it. I'm not gonna say like don't drink. I'm personally just not gonna indulge in that. Does that make sense? So I'm saying, does that make sense that you guys can actually, no, you can respond in the comments. I don't know if this makes sense, but yeah, and I may be going on, I do that a lot, I'm known for that. But I just think people will not force you to do anything that you don't want to do, but they will encourage you, and it may come across in a nicer way, so you may feel bad. And there's been times when my flatmates are like, why don't you come here, or why don't you have another drink, why don't you have straight vodka? Like I don't do shots. I'm not going to do that because it'll just go straight to my head and make me feel sick. I just think you have to respectfully and nicely just say, actually no, I'm not going to do that. For me it was more like it came up in conversation, obviously from going to church, going to discussions. I had some Bible discussions at my university and invited them to that. So, or like I'm going to the Christian Union event tonight, and it does come up. Like I also feel like you don't have to shout it out, like whether you're a Christian or a Muslim, or if you just don't drink for personal reasons. I think for you to share it in a way that don't think about it too much, but I'm just saying you don't have to overshare. Like it's not every day I'm a Christian, like that does get quite repetitive, and I do think actions speak louder than words. And I just thought of a scripture that I can't think of word for word, but about your deeds. James 1 verse 22, but be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourself. And then also Matthew 5 verse 16 comes to mind. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. And I love this Bible scripture because, like, let your light shine before others. That is literally how you live, like how you live and what you believe and what you stand for. Let that shine before others, and that they may see how you live your life, and then ultimately give glory to God in heaven. For people to see, oh, that is what Christian is like, or oh, that's different, why is she different, and ask questions. I think it's great to have questions. And what I loved so much about my flatmates was that they were such, well, generally they were quite open. Yeah, very open. I had quite a lot of deep conversations with my flatmates, especially like my next door neighbour, and like actually the guy opposite me as well. See, it's the guys that I did conversations with as well, so I would say don't worry so much about the whole guy-girl situation. People just have, if you just prod and you just ask certain questions, like, people do open up and they do respond and they do share about their life. So I would say, yeah, just stick to what you know. Going back to the actual topic that we were talking about, which was peer pressure, sorry, get distracted. Don't conform just to fit in. However, I would say don't isolate yourself, because at the beginning I was quite awkward. I can be awkward in situations, believe it or not. Loads of people think I'm really sociable and I'm really talkable. I'm really sociable and I talk a lot, which I do, but I also do feel awkward sometimes, and you can see it on my face because I'm not very good at hiding things, because that's just how I am. If I'm upset, you're going to see I'm upset. So yeah, what I was saying was don't isolate yourself, and it's so easy for anyone, whether you do things that most people do or not. It is very easy to get isolated, and they've said that it's very easy to be lonely at university, even though there's so many people around you. So you do have to put yourself out there. And when I say put yourself out there, I'm not saying do things that you don't want to do. I'm just saying, for example, for me, I really tried to, my flatmates will testify to this, and I think a few of us did this. A lot of us would eat dinner in our rooms, either to, I don't know, maybe you just weren't feeling like talking to people, or I would eat and revise, which I don't know if that's like a good idea, but that's what I did. Or I would eat and watch something, like a program. But what I tried to do, I think it's after Christmas when I came back, I really tried to eat dinner in the kitchen with people. It was like, actually no, if there's at least 1 or 2 people in the kitchen, I'm going to eat in the kitchen, even if no one else is eating, just to socialise. And that really helps, to talk to people and just be around people more often. I would really suggest that you guys join a society. So I joined cheerleading, if you didn't know. If you didn't know, actually, because you may be a new viewer, I will link my cheerleading vlogs down below. I have 2 cheerleading videos, and it just shares about what life is like as a cheerleader. It's literally called The Life of a Cheerleader. Join a society, because my closest friends now are from cheerleading. Like Ria, she's from cheerleading, and she so happened to be on my course, and also one of the closest halls to me, which is very helpful. Sophie, Mariana, Mia, we just hang out together. Like, what did we do? We went out for dinner. We, I don't know, we had so many movie nights, Chinese takeaway nights. We'd go to town a lot and shop. Just things like that. So obviously that's not the first things we did, but we met through cheerleading, and then we had that common thing to talk about. And what is great is that me and my closest friend are very similar in the fact that we are not like massive partiers or not massive drinkers. You will find people, like I've seen so many questions about people asking, oh, is university a massive drinking culture? It is really hard, and I have to admit the university is a massive drinking and partying culture. But I do believe that you will find people who are similar to you and want to do other things as well. You just have to be patient and make sure, like, you go to the things in the day, go to the freshers fair, go to the sports fair. You doesn't have to be a sport, but I would say join a society, put yourself out there, and you will find people. Get to know your flatmates in the day, even if you don't go out at night, or even if you're not a big drinker. But yeah, so I hope the accommodation talk and talking about living with the guys, peer pressure, making friends really helped you guys. If you did enjoy this university video, please give it a big thumbs up. Please comment down below any worries you have for university or any more questions you have, and I can answer them. I'm going to be doing a budgeting video and a money video in general, like how much I spent per week, and I'm also going to be doing a video about my course and joint honours and the workload. So if you guys are looking forward to that, please give me a big thumbs up and let me know, and I'll see you guys very soon.